Jenna Fischer received wide recognition for her role as Pam Beesly on the TV show The Office, where she played alongside John Krasinski's character, Jim Halpert. Their on-screen romance was beloved by viewers. Before landing this role, Fisher was relatively unknown in Hollywood and had to work temporary jobs to support herself while pursuing acting. Her success in The Office led to an Emmy nomination and opened doors for film opportunities. Here are 10 things you probably didn't know about Jenna Fischer. Her humble beginnings in community theater ended in failure. Jenna Fischer started her acting journey by writing and starring in plays for her family as a child, often casting herself in the lead role. However, when she began auditioning for school plays, she faced the reality that she wasn't always the star. She said in The Actor's Life, a survival guide, "These auditions mostly ended in failure. I never got the lead roles. In fact, I barely got the supporting roles. I usually found myself being offered the obligatory consolation prize, a role in the dancing chorus." She almost called it quits on acting. Before Jenna Fischer became famous as Pam Beesly on The Office, she nearly gave up on acting. She moved to Los Angeles from St. Louis with a theater degree, but ran through her savings in 6 months, experienced car trouble, and had a depressed cat without landing any acting roles in her first year. She worked as a receptionist and felt like a failure, but she was too embarrassed to return home. Her turning point came when she was feeling down and received a call offering her a small acting job in a sex education video, which paid $100. This opportunity gave her hope, and she continued pursuing acting, leading to her role in The Office 8 years later. She hosts an Office Rewatch podcast with a former co-star. Jenna Fischer became well known for her role as Pam on the hit NBC comedy series The Office. After the show ended, she started a podcast called Office Ladies, which she co-hosts with her former co-star and best friend, Angela Kinsey. The podcast was an instant hit, receiving thousands of positive reviews from the first episode. They rewatch The Office and share behind-the-scenes stories, as well as their thoughts on a possible reboot. The idea for the podcast came from their co-star, Rainn Wilson, who played Dwight Schrute, who often suggested they should have their own talk show. Fisher said, "We have dreamed for many years of one day taking over the 4th hour of the Today Show. That was what morphed into the idea of a podcast. We wanted to be storytellers and tell our stories out loud." She also wrote a book with a former co-star. Jenna Fischer and Angela Kinsey also collaborated on a book called The Office BFFs, which details their real-life friendship and shares behind-the-scenes stories from The Office. Despite their characters not getting along on the show, their real friendship is strong. She told AV Club, "We really tried to take great care with the book. One of the reasons it took us so long to finish it is because we hoped to get it just right. It just means so much to me that I did with my best friend. Together we hit this career milestone." She was told she was just not hot enough by casting agents. Jenna Fischer was once considered for the role of CIA spy Sidney Bristow in Alias, a part that ultimately went to Jennifer Garner. Although she gave a great audition, Fischer was told she wasn't hot enough for the role. While that was disappointing, Fischer later admitted she wasn't the best fit for the physically demanding role anyway. Her more relatable, girl-next-door appearance actually worked in her favor for her most famous role. She told NPR, "When I went in for The Office, the casting director said to me, 'Please look normal. Don't make yourself all pretty and dare to bore me with your audition.'" Fischer, who had worked as an administrative assistant for 7 years, nailed the audition by embracing this advice. The Office made her a star and led to movie roles in Blades of Glory, Walk Hard, The Dewey Cox Story, and Hall Pass. She gained 10 pounds after an accident. Jenna Fischer fell down a flight of stairs at an Office cast get-together in 2007, fracturing 4 vertebrae in her back and tearing a ligament in her elbow. During her recovery, she couldn't work out, leading her to indulge in junk food and feel down. At the time of the accident, Fischer was in great shape from training hard for her role in Walk Hard. She told Shape, "Before the accident, I wore a size 26 jeans. I was truly in the best shape of my life. Afterward, I gained 10 pounds and got flabby." Once she was cleared to be active again, Fischer focused on getting back in shape by improving her diet and hiking with friends. Her efforts paid off, and she returned to her pre-accident size. 2 years later, she confidently showed off her figure in a bikini on the cover of Shape magazine. She was recast after shooting a pilot for Man with a Plan. For Jenna Fischer, playing Pam on The Office for 9 seasons was both a blessing and a curse. On her Office Ladies podcast, Fisher explained why she was recast after filming the pilot for Man with a Plan, a show starring Matt LeBlanc from Friends. She lost the role of LeBlanc's wife because test audiences couldn't separate her from her character Pam and LeBlanc from his character Joey. She said, "They said, this is a literal quote. They said, I don't believe Pam would marry Joey. The chemistry doesn't work between these two." That was the feedback they got. Despite the network initially asking for more scenes with her, the focus group's reaction ultimately led to her being replaced. Man with a Plan ran for 4 seasons from 2016 to 2020, with Lisa Snyder taking over the role that Fisher originally played in the pilot. She married MCU director James Gunn. In 2000, Jenna Fischer married Guardians of the Galaxy director James Gunn after being introduced by his brother, Sean Gunn. She even appeared in James Gunn's cult horror comedy, Slither. Although the role wasn't originally written for her, Fisher ended up being the most famous cast member by the time the movie was released, thanks to her role in The Office. She jokingly shared that Gunn gave her the part as a birthday present. Reflecting on their marriage, Fisher told Redbook magazine, "When I was younger, I thought you married the person you fell in love with the most, but I realized there was a whole other set of criteria. You have to ask, do we have the same goals?" Although their marriage didn't last, Fisher and Gunn remain on good terms. Gunn mentioned on a podcast that they may have mistaken their close bond for something more. In 2010, Fisher married screenwriter Lee Kirk, whom she met while working together on the film The Giant Mechanical Man. She would sacrifice her dream role if it didn't meet this one crucial requirement. The most important factor Jenna Fischer considers when choosing her next project isn't the script, director, or cast. It's the location of the production. Now that she has a family, she prioritizes work in Los Angeles to stay close to her husband and 2 young children. This means she sometimes has to turn down interesting roles if they require her to be away from her family for too long. She told Master Chat, "Sometimes there's a really cool indie film with great people, but it's shooting in Louisiana for 6 weeks. As much as I would like to go create with that group of people, I can't leave my family for 6 weeks. And I can't really bring them with me because it's so expensive to relocate a family. I have a very pragmatic approach to work now." She has purposely avoided being typecast as a sex symbol. Jenna Fischer has purposely avoided being typecast as a sex symbol. Early in her career, she clashed with a Hollywood playwright who asked if she would do a nude, raunchy sex scene. She declined, saying she wouldn't do anything she wouldn't be proud to show her parents. The playwright responded by saying she wasn't a real actress, but Fisher stuck to her values, and her successful career proves she made the right choice.